Welcome back to another video. We're not only stealing Upstairs deck, we're also stealing Upstairs content idea and uploading almost daily sim gameplay now. Because I've been playing a lot more sim than I usually do, and I've been keeping OBS running alongside it to share some interesting gameplay with you. I think Gecko Moria is one of the winners from this set actually, because the 1-cost talkback is like a really strong card. It's basically custom to the deck, of course, because it's Sindri, but you get the card back, and more card draw also means more consistency, also means that we can mill more cards, which all in all just is great. Kind of exactly the card that we wanted as support. Like, if you ask Upster and me, we probably would have described this card during OP14, and Bandai thought the same, so they released the sockback. Which also means we can run more 4-cost sockback, because we're more likely to mill our 6-cost early to then pick it up. So more 6 costs on curve are always nice, because that's like kind of a weakness of the deck. If you miss the 6 cost on 6, it's a bit harsh, but with this deck list it almost never happens anymore. You might ask yourself why there's no Borsalino, but we're playing this 4-cost Zoro. The 4-cost Zoro just fits a lot better to the way we want to play the game, and it's also like 4 costs are really strong because we want to go second. Like just playing this on 4, dropping a card, healing a life, really strong. It's the 4-6 which turns into a 4-7 with our leader ability, and you can summon this off both this Gecko Moria, and you can also summon it off the Gecko Moria trigger, which is insane. So this card is really strong. I've underestimated how strong this card is going to be for the deck. And yeah, one of the other changes that I made to the deck list, because this basically ups this deck list, except for this Perona and this Gloriosa. This Gloriosa is me limit testing, because you definitely should probably just run the 4th Sindri here. But I think this deck runs fine with 7 2Ks, like that was never the issue. The 2Ks were just too good not to run, right? There was no reason to cut them. But this Gloriosa, what it lets us do is, if there's a Hogback on board in the late game, a 4-cost Hogback, then you can pop this Hogback, spawn Gloriosa. Gloriosa takes the life, then you have an 8-cost Gecko in your hand, you put that 8-cost Gecko into your life, and then once your opponent hits you, you spawn the 4-cost Zoro to heal back the card, like heal back a life. So that's a very funny interaction. I'm kind of limit testing if that comes up quite a lot. It should, because we're running more 4-cost talkbacks, so like any trigger could technically always turn into us having a Gecko Moria in hand, which also can then turn into Hogback Gloriosa and putting that Gecko back into our life. So we'll see if that happens. Maybe I'll cut it. If you cut it, then definitely just add one more Sindri. But let's get into the video. Playing against Nami, which is not the easiest matchup in the world, but also not impossible to win. You have to play the matchup a bit different. We open a new Hogback, which is a very strong card. We don't have a 3-drop here, which, if it was Absalom, would be decent to put onto the board. So you can still swing and ask for 1 card. Open the Hogback here to draw. And we don't draw a 3-drop, but like it doesn't actually matter that much, because an extra 5k body in these spots is kind of meaningless, because Nami generally just becomes a 7k leader. And you don't have the Don in the early game to pressure the 7k leader with multiple swings, because your bodies only turn into 6ks. So this swing, I take it because he is on 8. He probably didn't expect me to take it, but he's on 8, so I did take it so he doesn't draw, because if he plays Kiko first and swings, then I kind of have to counter. And like if he plays Kiko, then he also doesn't have it on lead, so if I get a trigger body from that 1 life that I take, like I'm getting a lot of value. So yeah, lucky to have the Perona here, which is strong. Means we can swing a 7. I was debating on using leader here, but I don't want to pitch like 6-cost 2k Hogback or something. And yeah, he kind of realizes that he does like he wanted to counter, but he realizes he has no Don on his leader, which you would expect someone with 6 billion bounty to realize. But I think it doesn't make that much of a difference him like wasting cards here, because if he has more cards in his hand here, like he takes life and he has 2 more cards, so that's 3 more cards in his hand technically, then like he draws the cards that he just pitched back with lead, otherwise he wouldn't draw. So hand size wise it doesn't actually make that much of a difference. As you can see, he's still on 7. here. Still a bit weird. I get some value out of the Perona block. Perona is very strong because it's a 6k body. Trades quite well into the Nami leader. And then we get to play the Zoro, which is like a really strong card. Like if you have the Zoro and Trash early with combined with 6 cost Gecko, you basically just get a free life. Almost. And here I swing 7 lead first, wanting him to counter, and then I lead, because by lead, like using leader effect here, I get to 4 life. So in case he gives me like leader ability 1k on my 7k, I could try to trade off the Kiku. Ideally, maybe I just swing Kiku anyways, like I just, the first swing is just on Kiku and use leader then, so it's 7-8 on Kiku while I have 4 life. That's probably better. But I mean, if he takes the life, then we're also getting closer to like trying to finish him off, even though he has heal of course, but yeah, we kind of got like an easy life off him, so not too sad about that. So yeah, we're just playing Boa this turn. Maybe there's an argument for Gecko and Lilith, because it's a bit more... It's not really more efficient, honestly, it's the same thing. This is a decent spot, because like we don't have 5k bodies on board, but they don't matter as much anyways. The only thing that matters is that we have like enough health that we can establish our big bodies, which in this case is pretty much given. This trigger, there might be an argument to just not do it, because like I said, the 5k bodies don't matter that much, and like keeping the 2k in hand is definitely something we want to do. Because we can't expect the other lives to be triggers as well, at least like one of them. So if I keep the 2k here and then play Hogback of a different life, then I keep it 2k. Because the idea is that I play the Hogback so I have Perona next turn. So definitely want to stun the board. I mean, like I could play Hogback of this life here, but I mean it's a gamble, right? I don't trigger the first trigger that I see, and then maybe I don't find any, so then I would have no Perona. So this one, the Ryuma like in hand doesn't do anything anyway, so either like Black Hogback would be nice because he doesn't have any swings to trade it off the board anymore, or just yeah like the Perona here because it's a blocker. It has 6k body, so it's pretty good to trade into his board. He's already a 7k leader. Could become 9k leader even. So there really isn't a point in hitting his leader. We do the 6 at Kiku, he lets it die. Kind of makes sense, because if he doesn't let it die, then he has to spend his entire hand trying to defend it. Stun the Nami. Like swinging 7 face still gives us some value, because yeah, like even if he pitches a brick, it's still a card out of his hand. It gives us the search event. There's no point resting the Moria here. I mean, technically there's also no point resting the Boa here, but for the off chance that he doesn't block it, we'll try. Playing over the Hogback because I don't see myself having a window where I can pop it anymore, because next turn I'll probably want to pop the Perona again. So we're very likely not going to draw off it, but we played that card for free of the Focus Perona anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, goes for the Israeli play of putting Rayquaza in life. That interaction definitely has to be dealt with on Monday. Yeah, of course we got the 6k, then this 8k. You kind of just have to take it. Take the 12. Might be an argument to just block the 12 instead, because like it's guaranteed value at that point. If like he finds a way to deal with the Perona next turn, And we kind of lost out on the block, so yeah, there's that. Like, if there's no Gecko next turn, for example, then that would be unfortunate. So we could have gotten like value from blocking here. We play Lilith because we kind of want to find Boar, which is exactly what we found. Because we know that he put very likely Quasar into life. So by him taking this life, we can now burn the Quasar. Use the leader ability just to heal. Yeah, you'll find me, doesn't matter. We have two 11k swings, so if we do the 11 first, then that doesn't actually play around that card. Yeah, he goes 12k at the Moria, and I think I'm just supposed to block here by giving him 2 cards, which I think is incorrect. It's not that much of a difference, but I think I'm just supposed to block. Because yeah, now this one I kind of have to let it die, because otherwise, like if I block with Perona, he kills Perona and the Gecko, so I'm losing both characters. If I block the first swing, even if he goes into Gecko, I can probably defend. It's difficult, because this way I definitely only lose 1 body. In like if I block the first swing, I might lose 2, depending on how large he swings into the Gecko. Actually, if I block the first one, then there's a possibility where if he does 9 and 7 on the Gecko, then that also dies, but then he's very likely dead. So yeah, maybe me giving 2 1Ks instinctively is, giving the 2 cards and 2 1Ks is still better. Yeah, maybe this. Now we're kind of forced to go for game, but like I said, like we didn't have a crazy early game, like mid game board, right? We only had the 6 cost and the 9 cost. But that's kind of where you want to be, right? We were very healthy, so we had a lot of time to establish these bodies. Stun the mid-range cards with Perona to save yourself like some turns. Kind of shows the strength of this deck. Then we force out him using like leader ability, give him 2k 1k here on the first 11, and then it becomes quite easy. It's not like guaranteed win, but it's very likely. Yeah, we do 12. Because if he has double 2k, then it is what it is. And then we do 13, 13, which we kind of has to have almost perfect counter. And we get there. Dofi, that has previously always been a pretty decent matchup, and they haven't really got any support, so it's kind of still the same good matchup as before, just with us basically having a bit of a stronger deck. We do have a very strong start here. We do have double 1-drop. There might be an argument to just never play the Sindri here, but I think I still like it, because I'm running the 4-cost Perona in this deck list, so I kind of want to see it. And yeah, I mean, now we get kind of rewarded for doing what we wanted to do. And this is almost an unfortunate trigger, because I want to use my 2 1-drops to trade into his 1-drops, of course, right? But otherwise, a good play that you can do here is swing Hogback 5 lead, then swing, like pop the Hogback 4 body, and then you have 4 Don, so you can attach 2 Don to Hogback, 2 Don to Sindri, swing 5-5, and then 6 with lead, because their 1-drops go to 3k power, like you see here. That's usually a very nice thing to do, because it's very aggressive. And then, yeah, probably could have just pitched the Gloriosa, but Perona's fine as well. Finds the baby 5, which of course is not the best card to find here, and then yeah, we just trigger more bodies. Like, we're gonna run him over. Just showing how aggressive this deck can be. So now it's 5, we pop the Hogback, swing 6, 7, 7. And there's almost nothing he can do already. This game is basically decided. He will not stabilize. Just wanted to show this off. Kind of flexing Moria here. And like, we get another Zoro because we double, like, Sinrid basically. Pitch the Gloriosa. Swing another 7. Yeah, this board state is so cooked. He's on 0. But yeah, this Zoro card is disgusting. That's why it's worth it to definitely just play the Sinrid there. Because we counter this one because we have full board. Swing Gecko first in case of slow beam. Goes for the bullet string. So we pop the Absalom because we can't swing it anymore. Grab a 2k. Swing a 7. Goes for another bullet string, so it's just a DOA Luffy. But that's totally fine because we're just gonna heal. Now we have 5 life full board against his basically no board and 0 life. Plays the 8 cost, plays Virgo. We defend the Zoro, of course. Swing face. And yeah, he was dead, so that was a quick and easy win. Yeah, playing against Enel, which is probably the best deck coming out of OP15. Pretty strong opening here. We have Hogback and we have Lilith. We also have Zoro. We have the 6 cost Gecko in our trash, where we right now can't really use him that well. Get the Perona. Perona is like the key card in this matchup, of course. Like all the Enels are 6 cost. They can make them 8 cost, but if they have multiple Enel out, then you're probably gonna have one of them that's gonna stay at 6, because the, I think, Very something, whatever that event is called, mostly it's just played as like a 2-off, sometimes 3, because they make space for running 1 cost Pudding and 6 cost Sanji. 6 cost Sanji is good for them because, of course, it's Pudding searchable, but it's also like the 2Ks only work on leaders, so if you play Holy, then you have Sanjis to 2K out of your dog. Bit greedy maybe to take this one, because like there's a 7 coming, but like if we take this and he swings the 7 at the Absalom, then we just get a free card draw, I guess, a free cycle. And this way, I was debating pitching my Perona and taking, because I get an extra body, but I didn't do it. So I think I'm in a decent spot anyways, and I just played out the Hogback. Because to me, I feel like it's worth it. Because like otherwise I would pitch the Perona, right? Just to get like extra trigger body onto the board. But I think against this matchup, like having so many 1-drops on board is very valuable still. And this Hogback draws me the card back, so I basically didn't lose a card for triggering the Hogback onto the board. And now we see where the 4-cost Perona shines. I could leader here, but don't really want to. I'll have to pitch Gloriosa, Perona, and Zoro. We do also have the 6 cost now. We do have a Zoro and Trash already. If I didn't have a Zoro and Trash, then I probably would have leadered. Just so I can play it off the 6 cost Gecko, because that's kind of a strong interaction. It being a 4-6 that heals is so crazy. I don't know, Bandai kind of went crazy on yellow. I feel like the very best card that should exist in terms of healing will always be Kuma. Like it should be the best card, but of course it's not. Yeah, this matchup is pretty good for us, because now he has 1-drop on board. We can easily trade that off, and if he doesn't have another 1-drop, then he's gonna have no swings next turn, because I can stun the Enel and clears 1-drop. He does reduce the Perona, so I don't get a free block here. Pitch the Gloriosa, and then he plays another 1-drop. So kind of getting value out of the -1 here, because otherwise that would just be a free block. can just trade off the Shura, pop the Hogback, swing 6, 7, 7, stun the Enel. He has this Satori swing, but that's okay. But having the 6 cost stun is so strong because that's basically the entire deck. I always forget to click the Gecko down, I don't know why. Not sure if I really needed to heal here, but just kind of felt right. Because I only have Wonkas in my hand. I guess the Wonkas I could use to defend at least Focus Perona. I'm not sure why he's taking all his life, but he definitely has some hand size here. I think this spot is already kind of bad for my opponent. Even though I have very low cards in hand, I can control this board quite easily. Even if he clears the board, you're like, could let this die. Honestly, maybe I should. Yeah, I think like I definitely probably should just let this die, honestly, because I have full board. And like the most valuable card on board right now is the Focus Perona because it's the best stat line. Plays the blocker Enel. They will absorb one swing. Can freeze the Perona. The freeze event is so strong and also in Rager, it's insane. Like 0 cost draw a card, freeze a body is kind of nutty. And now he gets to clear the Perona anyway, so could have just let it die on the first swing, I think. Can't decide whether to put them at top or bottom. Yeah, now this like shows kind of why Perona is so strong. Like I'm probably not gonna do it, but I could just double stun both the blocker and the 6 cost Enel, so they just both can't attack this after next turn. I won't do this now, but it will be a possibility later. We just play the 8 drop and just heal back up. Yeah, plays another Secret Rare. The reason I don't need to stun the Enel here is because I only have 2 cards in my hand anyway, so if I stun one of the Enels, it's not gonna do anything, because if he really wants to, he can still trade off both my bodies from the board, and he could freeze them anyways. So, and by him, like, hitting my face, like, I'm very close to just having lethal on him at some point. Especially if he ignores my board. Which of course he doesn't. Like 6 cost. 6 cost is so strong because before like OP15, like only the like 8 cost and 9 cost and lead away your heal options. But basically 6 could drop Moria now turns into a heal card too because it summons the Focus Zoro. So the 6 drop Moria has a lot more value than before, because before that, like, you play them on 6 and then you kind of play them never unless you just didn't draw an 8 cost on 8. Now you have so much like extra value to gain from that. It's kind of insane. We don't have a 2k here, so we kind of just have to take, but that means we can Perona one of the bodies. Always stun the like Secret Ray here, because if he wants to have a blocker, he can't swing the 6 drop Enel here as well. And now he's kind of in a weird position because yeah, how are you gonna survive? Like, you have one blocker, but I have a lot of swings here. Like, you have to kind of freeze my board, which he does. But it's only on 2 down as well, so next turn wouldn't be an Enel turn. But this turn could also be very interesting because I could play Zoro from hand, heal, and then play 6 drop Moria and heal, but of course that would cost me my entire hand, and there is no reason to right now. So I can just pressure, and if I pressure like with big swings, then he might also has to let this 6 drop Enel just let it die. Which is unfortunate because I'm gonna stun one of the Secret Rares, and then if the other 6 drop dies, and he has only 4 down next turn, so no more 6 drop shenanigans, then he's either gonna lose this turn or next turn, so he just gives up. Playing against another Nami. Still a very popular deck because of the card that our opponent just searched, Borsalino. I'm getting a bit motivated here because I'm playing double Hogback this turn, which might not be ideal because, like, he draws you the card back, but sometimes you miss the window to pop him and get the card back actually. So there might have been a good argument to just play double Hogback and instantly pop one of them so I could just get the card back. Because if I don't use the Hogback on KO during the game, then I'm still down a card, kind of like Sindri. Yeah, I swing 7 here because I like 7 more than like playing the Hogback. Because what this matchup comes down to is basically resources and time, kind of like the first game that we had in this game, video. And Absalom gives you resources, and so we do like this for sure. And we do have the Perona. So we'll use the we'll do a 5. Not sure why I'm popping the Absalom, honestly. I think just popping the Hogback, doing 6, 7, 7 is probably the best option. Yeah, I'm a bit confused, to be fair. I think in this turn you always just pop one of the Hogbacks, swing 6, 7, 7, and then leave the Absalom rested on board, because either they ignore it or you can pop it later. You have to respect this swing, you have to counter it, because the other one's quite big, and I think if he trades into board now, we're still fine with that. But if we take and then take another, then we're definitely too low. So yeah, he trades off the Perona, which makes sense, but I think that's fine. And we're goated, so we top deck the Gecko. And he's very low on hand size, so we're trading into the Nami. And he has no body, which is good for us, of course. We get the swing, and I mean, now there is a body, so that is unfortunate. Still going face, of course, because we all know what Hogback does. Playing the 8 cost. Now you have like now the question is, do you heal or do you play a body onto the board? I did end up playing it onto the board. I think healing and playing it onto the board is kind of the same thing. Because if I heal it, then he's just gonna swing at my Zoro first, kill that, and then swing face. Because if he swings one of the 5 costs or like bursts, then yeah, one of them is just gonna get stunned. So it's just killing my Zoro first, then swings face. That's quite similar. But this way I keep more bodies. And I kind of need to find lethal soon. Yeah, so now the problem is, like, I want to pop Hogback for the card draw, of course, but I also want to pop the Perona for the ability to freeze his Nami. Because if I can heal this turn and freeze with the Perona, there's good odds that I can survive and kill him next turn. There might have been an argument to actually just try to go for game here. So if I make this a 9k he guards, I can still do like Gecko, I can still split among the Hogback even and the two Geckos on board. Yeah, with Crazer, that would be difficult. And now the problem is, if I swing, he gets a body trigger, I definitely lose. And if I don't swing, and if he heals, clears my board, then I might not be able to finish the game. So, a bit of a gamble, what you want to do here. I do decide to swing, which of course if he doesn't trigger basically means our opponent has to go for game. But I think in hindsight, it's probably not the correct decision, because if I don't do it, right, he's on, like after the boy is on 1, even if he heals to 2 and kills both my Gecko and my Zoro, I would have Borg, my leader, and the 8-cost Gecko on board. So I can swing, pop the Gecko, like the 8-cost, swing Boar, and if he guards the second swing, I can still split with the 1-cost Hogback to probably find lethal. So yeah, I think this one was also winnable. Like, I think an army matchup isn't all that terrible. Like, I think this game I definitely could have played a bit better. But yeah, I mean, our opponent has interesting swings, because if that was like a Perona trigger and I have perfect counter, then I could win, but yeah, this way I couldn't. Yeah, playing against Boar, the Borsalino abuser deck #1, deck we all hate. Yeah, we're kinda goated, we're top decking the 1-drop. Very good early hand here. We have the 4-cost Zoro, we have the 6-drop. The OP bounty kinda messes up. Take. No trigger, unfortunately. They have the Margaret, but they haven't set up any triggers yet, so decent spot still. Because their deck doesn't run that many body triggers as ours, so technically they should be less likely to gain the trigger body here. There's multiple ways to play this. Pop the Hogback. Like, play something first, pop the Hogback. Then swing. Or like swing first. You don't want to lose your stuff to random triggers, and like if you swing a 5k, yeah, your opponent's most likely gonna take anyway, so no need to do any shenanigans to try to get a 6k swing in. Because we can't pop the Hogback right now because we have 7 in hand, and we wouldn't draw. So, takes that. Play the Zoro. And I mean, we could use the Hogback this turn, but there's probably no reason to. Can still do that next turn to get the advantage of being buffed. We take. Yeah, I was probably a bit greedy to not buff the, like, pop the Hogback, because now like would be ideal to just pop the Perona, stun the board. Definitely something I think we have to get used to, like when the correct timing for the Hogback is. I think we probably should pop in as soon as possible. Like popping him last turn would have probably been ideal, because now I have to always make a decision whether I want to pop the Hogback or want to pop something else. So this is a bit of a weird, like, decision, because, like, ideally I want to stun the boar. But I think if I stun the boar like this, then he's probably gonna block and burn my life. This is definitely what I was thinking. But he takes. So then the Perona was fine, because I don't want him swinging at me like crazy. This one we can defend quite easily. And then they play Borsalino. And this matchup was always pretty good for us, but now it's a bit weird, because yeah, Borsalino is a blocker. We're naturally quite weak to blockers, and they have a lot more heal than they had before. There's a lot more sustainability as well. So definitely gets a bit more tricky than in OP14, where this matchup was kind of free. Still a very possible matchup though. Yeah, it ends up blocking the 6. Like, there's a Rayquaza in here for sure, so he just gets to play him back, gets the life back, gets to draw an extra card. So he kind of just filtered his hand a bit. And that's fine though, we definitely need to swing, because otherwise that Rayquaza is gonna sit there forever. Might as well burn it now. And then we just heal. Maybe playing Corona to board is better. Buff, like, then I can stop the Margaret from trading into my board. Because the leader is probably gonna swing at Zoro, and Margaret is gonna swing at Zoro as well, so Kumasi in life here doesn't do a whole lot. Can heal later as well. Put more pressure on the board as well. So yeah, probably Verona here to board instead of healing might be better. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much they can heal. So now I have a face-up life and they have like the boar. So now I get to pop the hog back, which is nice. To draw a card. But I also have the Focus Zoro, so if I heal first, I can make sure that the Kumasi stays alive so it doesn't burn the trigger. I'll play the Zoro first. So now there's a random life, so if he blocks now, then yeah, swinging onto the Borsalino is not useful here because he has a full board, right? So if I swing face, he has a trigger body, then he has to replace something. If I try to kill the Borsalino first, then I guess kill the boss, I dies, I swing face, he triggers, then he just gets a free body onto the board, so at no point we lose out on a Lilith trigger, but that's not the end of the world. And now that he blocked, I can trade off the Borsalino now. Because the only thing that I'm giving him technically is a random Quasar in life, which I feel like I just shouldn't play around, like Quasar in life. And yeah, he takes both life and gets kind of rewarded for it, Gorgon Sisters and Chucky. Play the hog back, get a card back, go wide. But yeah, that's what I mean with this matchup now, is that it was a lot easier to kill them before, but now they have double blocker on board still, 9 cards in hand, and if they play Nankos Boar here or even more Borsalinos, and they get pretty tanky very quick. And he plays Kuma, which was one of the best heal cards before OP15 is about to release. And then Borsalino just does the same thing almost for one less stun, becomes a blocker and doesn't cost a card. Yeah, so maybe I should take the first swing, just not triggered, because then I have 3 2Ks in hand and possibly can defend my board. Now I'm just gonna lose my board, which is unfortunate, but I mean it was gonna happen either way. Like if he wanted to kill my board here, then he definitely can do that anyways. So I guess just trying to stay as safe as possible is probably my win con here. Because he has to find an angle to kill us and then not lose on the clapback. Because here, like, he's afraid to swing because there could be trigger bodies. But I feel like he kinda has to swing. Because otherwise, how is he ever gonna finish the game? And then here, it's a bit weird because I have nothing to do with my cards in hand. So I go for a bit of like a risky play, try to draw something useful of the Ryuma. Like Zoro is a fine draw. 6 cost Moria would have been the draw that I was looking for, but they work fine either way because Zoro is kind of what I wanted to play. Because now the Kumasi, like he doesn't burn off my Kumasi, so there's technically a Perona in my life. And he didn't have a boar before, because otherwise I'm pretty sure he would have played it last turn, so I'm just kind of praying that I survive the turn. Because he could clear my board, right? That's the thing. But if he clears my board, then he also like doesn't get closer to finishing. Because here he has like Borsalino, he probably wants to keep like standing. And then he has to trade off Hogback and the Zoro. Possibly the Gecko too, but then I still have 4 life and the boar in my hand now. So then I'll just go back to 5 and repeat the same thing. Because he has to, like, him finding a lethal here is very difficult. Because like any trigger turns into Perona basically. So he loses swings and then like I'm summoning bodies of my life. So if he tries to kill me and then doesn't actually kill me, he's gonna lose on a clapback because I have a full board again. So it's a bit of an awkward situation for the boar. Yeah, unfortunately, with only 1 card in hand, even like he doesn't know what card that is, our board is pretty guaranteed gone. He has double 2k FEMA in hand. FEMA not that useful against us. I mean, we do have Perona on the list now, but and Sindri. But still not gonna do a whole lot. And then yeah, we do the same thing. Play boar first, get a random life. Then I swing 6. Because if he blocks and burns it, or if he swings with it, it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, I probably just get a free 2k because he showed us the Gorgon Sister, or block 1k. Would also work. And then we just pass because swinging 6k with the Zoro here just to get 1 card out of his hand is not worth it, because I could swing with him like a lot bigger after this turn. And now he's like the board player is kind of in a position where I want him to be, because he kind of has to hit face, right? But if he does it and I trigger like enough bodies, then he's just gonna lose to the clapback. I put the Perona to stun the Gecko, because if he turns the Gorgon Sisters into my Perona now, then we can force the same situation next turn. He's not gonna be able to kill me because he traded off the Perona. I'll be at 4 life. Could even defend this one. So now he has to tap a blocker to kill it. I kind of want to keep my life as well. Because if I let the Perona die and he swings like Borsalino at face, then I'm at 2 life. So, not ideal. Also, just drawing an infinite boar is not ideal either. 1 boar is enough. Don't need 2 in hand right now. We do need some miracles here in our life, because yeah, now the board is getting a bit out of hand. We are playing yellow. Yeah, burning the life, so there's no random shenanigans. Doesn't get like a free counter on our swing basically. It's unfortunate that we burn the Gecko from life here, because that has a funny trigger. We swing the 10, he blocks of course, then we swing the 7 and the 5. which he just gives us 3 Gordogan Sisters, so 3 2Ks, and then yeah, now again, same spot as before, he has to go for game. If he like can't do it, then he's gonna die on the clapback, but now we have less life, less cards in hand, has more swings, so not as unlikely that it's going to work, but I mean, maybe sometimes I'm the better player. So we start off with Perona, basically exactly what we needed. Now he has to connect every swing, and yeah, we just him. I'm so happy that this happens against the boar, because they deserve it. Just like triple checking, but yeah, we play the Zoro out because the Moria plays anything. And then we just get to heal back up. Kuma can't swing, he only has 2 swings, he can't burn the life anymore. So he just loses. And our opponent realized that. We love yellow.